Lisa Parker stood at the window of the space station looking out at the stars. She had been working as a communications officer for 3 years now, but tonight felt different. The red warning lights flashed across the control room as enemy ships approached. The Zephyrian fleet had been hunting humans for months. Their tall, blue-skinned warriors were known across the galaxy as fierce fighters. Lisa had heard stories of their strength and honor, but never thought she would meet one Phase 2. Phase Commander Kane burst through the door, his face pale with worry. "The shields are failing," he shouted. "We need to evacuate now." Lisa grabbed her emergency pack and ran toward the escape pods, but explosions rocked the station, throwing her to the ground. When she opened her eyes, smoke filled the corridor. Emergency lighting cast strange shadows on the walls. Lisa crawled forward, trying to find another way out. A large hole had been blown in the outer hull, and she could see a Zephyrian boarding. Craft attached to their station, a figure emerged from the smoke taller than any human Lisa had ever seen. His skin was deep blue like the ocean, and strange silver markings covered his arms. His eyes were bright gold and seemed to glow in the dim light. Despite his alien features, something about him felt familiar. The warrior saw her and stopped. Instead of raising his weapon, he knelt down beside her. "Are you injured?" he asked in perfect English. His voice was deep and surprisingly gentle. Lisa shook her head, unable to speak. "My name is Kale," he said. "I am not here to harm you." The warrior helped her to her feet, his touch warm despite his strange appearance. "The other humans have already been taken to safety," he explained. "But you were left behind." Lisa found her voice finally. "Why are you helping me?" The Zephyrian looked at her with those golden eyes, and something passed between them that neither could explain. "Because it is right," he said simply. Kale led her through the damaged station to his small scout ship. The other Zephyrian warriors had already left with their prisoners, but Kale had stayed behind. He said he felt drawn to return to the station, though he could not explain why, as they traveled through space toward a neutral planet. Lisa learned about Kale and his people. The Zephyrians were not the monsters humans believed them to be. They were warriors, yes, but they had a strict code of honor. They only fought to protect their homeworld from an ancient enemy. Hours passed. As they talked, Lisa found herself drawn to this alien warrior. His strength was obvious, but so was his kindness. He spoke of his family and his duties with deep respect. When he smiled, his whole face changed. Becoming almost human, the neutral planet of Haven Station appeared before them. Kale docked his ship, and they walked together through the busy marketplace filled with beings from dozens of different worlds. Here humans and aliens lived in peace, trading goods and sharing stories. "We should part ways here," Kale said, though his voice carried sadness. "Your people will come for you soon." Lisa nodded, but something inside her rebelled against the idea of leaving. She had never felt this connection with anyone before, human or otherwise. That night in the small hotel room they had rented, Lisa made a choice that would change everything. She went to Kale, and for one perfect night, they were not human and alien, but simply two souls who had found each other. The universe seemed to hold its breath around them. Morning came too quickly. A human rescue ship had arrived, and Lisa had to leave. Kale stood at the docking bay watching her go. Neither spoke of what had happened between them, but both carried the memory like a precious secret. 3 months later, Lisa discovered she was pregnant. The medical team was amazed. Human-alien reproduction was thought to be impossible, but the child growing inside her proved otherwise. The baby had Lisa human features, but Kyle golden eyes and strength beyond normal human limits. Lisa named her daughter Amy and raised her alone on Earth. The little girl grew quickly, showing abilities that amazed everyone around her. She was stronger than other children and seemed to understand things beyond her years. Her golden eyes saw the world differently than humans did. Amy often asked about her father, and Lisa would tell her stories of the brave warrior who had saved them. She showed Amy pictures of the stars and spoke of honor and strength. Amy listened, with the serious expression that reminded Lisa so much of Kale. Years passed, and Amy grew into a remarkable young woman. She could lift objects that should have been impossible for someone her size. Her reflexes were lightning fast, and she seemed to sense danger before it arrived. Other humans both feared and admired her abilities. One day when Amy was 16, the news channels announced that Zephyrian ships had been spotted near Earth. A diplomatic mission, they said. But Lisa felt her heart race. Could it be him after all these years? Amy stood beside her mother watching the news reports. Mom, she said quietly, I think it's time I met my father. Lisa looked at her daughter and saw not just her own features but the strength and honor of the warrior who had given Amy life. The Zephyrian delegation arrived at the United Nations building 3 days later. Lisa watched on television as the tall blue figures emerged from their ship. She searched each face, hoping and fearing what she might find. Then she saw him. Kale looked exactly as he had 16 years ago, unchanged by time. His golden eyes scanned the crowd of reporters and diplomats as if searching for something. Lisa felt tears on her cheeks, knowing that somehow he had come back for them. Amy touched her mother's hand. I can feel him, she whispered. He knows we are here. Lisa nodded, understanding that the bond between them had never truly been broken. Time and space meant nothing to connections forged in love that evening. As the city celebrated the new peace treaty, Lisa received a message, a single word, location and time. Nothing more, but she knew Amy packed a small bag, and they traveled across the city to the coordinates Kale had sent. He was waiting in a small park, away from the crowds and cameras. When he saw them approaching, Kale stopped breathing. His daughter was beautiful, combining the best of both their peoples. Amy walked forward without fear and embraced the father she had never met, but always known. Lisa, you kept our child safe, Kale said, his voice thick with emotion. Amy looked between her parents and smiled. I always knew you would come back, she said. The golden eyes she had inherited from him shone with happiness. The three of them sat together, under the stars, and Kale told Amy stories of her heritage. He spoke of the Zephyrian code of honor and the strength that flowed through her veins. Amy listened with fascination, finally understanding where her abilities came from. As the night grew late, Amy fell asleep between her parents. Lisa and Kale talked quietly about the years that had passed and the future that lay ahead. The peace treaty meant that families like theirs might be possible. Now we can try again, Kale said, taking Lisa's hand. This time I will not have to leave. Lisa smiled and leaned against his strong shoulder. Sometimes the most impossible things become the most beautiful, she whispered. Amy stirred in her sleep, murmuring something in the Zephyrian language she had never learned. Kale laughed softly. She has the gift of inherited memory, he explained. She knows things her ancestors knew. Lisa marveled at her extraordinary daughter, who was living proof that love could conquer any barrier. The future stretched before them, uncertain but filled with hope. Amy would grow up knowing both sides of her heritage. She would be a bridge between two worlds, showing others that differences could be strengths rather than weaknesses. Lisa looked up at the stars and remembered that first night when she had chosen love over fear. The choice had given her the most precious gift possible, a daughter who carried the best of two civilizations, and a love that had survived across time and space.